How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a great day. I know I am. Real quick, before we get this video started, I want to show you the tripod setup today. We have the paint bucket, masking tape, there's the soft box. We have this palm tree from the Bahamas. My business partner got me that. And then my phone is back there, held up by a Fuji battery grip to light the back of the Mac to give it some depth, really. Is that palm tree distracting? I hope not. That's not what this video is about today, though. Today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the EOS-R footage, and more importantly, the C-Log. I told you guys in my last video I was gonna give you a tutorial on how I grade C-Log. That's what today is for. Went down to the coffee shop downtown where I live. I shot some test shots. I think it's mandatory as a creator to have coffee. I guess that's one of those things. But gonna show you guys how I grade C-Log. It's such a simple process, and we're gonna do that in Premiere Pro. Let's go ahead and hop into it. All right, guys, so we are in Premiere Pro now, and I've got my 4 clips pulled up. 2 of them from inside the coffee shop. One of them was actually on top of a hotel in downtown, and they actually have events up here on this balcony. Excuse me for all the bird poop. I did not frame myself well in that. But anyways, these are the methods that I use to grade C-Log. Now, I'm not a colorist by any means, but this is the process that works for me. So I'm gonna start off with the sliders. These are great for general adjustments. Now, if we need to do any micro adjustments, we will use curves and wheels. First thing I'm gonna do with my RGB Parade and my vector scope pulled up, we're gonna pull these blacks down until something almost touches 0 right there, or just touches 0. Pull the shadows down a little bit as well, just to adjust those to my liking. Now with my face and with the highlights, I'm actually gonna look, you want your face for a fair skinned person, which I am, to be between about 70 and 80, and that's as per the Ansel Adams graph for IRE. So between 70 and 80, we're already fairly close. I'm gonna bring the highlights up just a tad to create some contrast there. Maybe bring them down some. Yep, that looks good, and honestly, this looks good already just with those couple little adjustments. Now what I'm gonna do from here is I'm gonna go to my color wheels, and we are going to pull down the shadows just a tad more to make those blacks really pop. Pull up the highs some, and honestly that looks good. Go to curves and give it a simple S curve just to put some more contrast in there. And right there, guys, I really don't even feel like I need to adjust white balance or anything. I don't feel like it's really cold or hot. I may actually, you know what, let's go just a little bit cooler. Right about there. I think that's looking good. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste those settings over here to my second clip. And as you notice, it was very yellow in the coffee shop. Those lights in there are very orange looking. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the effects controls. We are going to copy. Copy those settings, and then we're going to Command V to paste, and boom, that looks good right there. Even with a little bit of yellow in the background, I feel like my skin looks nice. It looks accurate to how it actually is in person. Now let's move to these outside clips. What I'm going to do with these outside clips is really the same process. So I've got me in there now just drinking coffee like you should do. Pull the scopes back up, and this is very flat, so we are going to pull that down once again till the blacks almost or something touches 0. About right there. Go ahead and pull the shadows down a little bit too. Bring our highlights up so that my face is nice and exposed. Now this is where your wheels can really come in handy, and I'm actually going to increase the exposure a little bit right there. So this is looking pretty good. This was shot right at golden hour. I'm going to add some green in there, and that's looking good right there, honestly, guys. So let's go to the wheels. Bring those shadows down just a tad to create a little bit more contrast. Highlights up, and as you can see with the C-Log, we still have a lot of blue now. It was a pretty cloudy day. We had a little bit of blue, nothing crazy, but once again, I feel like this looks really good, and this is a simple process as you guys have seen so far. Let's go to curves, just throw in that simple S curve again, nothing too crazy. And boom, that is looking good. I mean, to me, don't know how you guys are seeing it on your end, but I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and copy and paste that to the next one, and then I'll show you something really quick. So copy, we're gonna Command V that. So that's looking a little yellow. I was actually in the sun, so all we're gonna do now is come blue that up a tad, and boom, I think that is pretty spot on. yeah, that's looking good. So I'm actually very happy with that. Maybe blew it up just a little bit more. Yeah, and that is how I grade CLog. Now, one thing you can do from here is, if you so choose, we can add an adjustment layer, and we can, oop, that was a new folder, don't need that. You can add an adjustment layer here, and let's see what a LUT would look like if it were thrown on there. Let's stretch that out. Sorry about that. So on the adjustment layer, let's just go to one that I use fairly often, actually, grit. This is actually in a package. We don't want that much grit, obviously. Get me back in the frame here. Yep, don't need that much grit. So let's dial that back some. Let's just bring it back to about, let's go about 20, I think. Well, 15 looks good too. We'll go with 15. And that's it, guys. So that is my color grading process for CLog. So we've gone from the base. Oh, that's on the, hang on, that's on the adjustment layer, my bad. We've gone from the base now to, that's where we started on this, to where we are now, plus our adjustment layer on there as well. That was a terrible spot to put that. And then even on the indoor, once again, we went from this to the finished product, and that is CLog. Like I said, it's not as flat until you actually look at it graded and you're like, wow, it actually is pretty flat, but compared to other logs, I don't think so. That's my process. And even on the indoor shots, let's just bring that adjustment layer over. Yeah, you know, grit doesn't look bad there. A lot of these LUTs, you really do have to use them very sparingly, that's for sure. So I mean, we can take that off, and as you see, it's a minimal difference. It just brings the blacks down a little bit. So anyways, that is how I grade my CLog. Alright guys, so that is my process for grading CLog. Now, I'm not a colorist by any means. I don't claim to be. I shoot videos for YouTube and a few other projects as well. But that's just the way that I grade. It may be wrong, it may be right, I don't know. It works for me. But what I want to know in the comments below is what process works for you, and what has your experience been working with CLog. Like I said, I find it very easy. Would love to see those comments down below. And as always, if you like this content and want to see more, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next.